Welcome to Sacred Place Live. I'm your host, Matthew. I'm glad you have joined me on this Thursday or whenever you're watching this. Happy Pride Month. Today I wanted to share a little bit about why we celebrate Pride here at Sacred Place. There are a lot of churches who don't for various reasons, but we at Sacred Place do this every year. It grew from when I first started at just one Sunday in the month of June to the entire month. At Sacred Place, we seek to create a just world where all are included in the family of God, one sacred place at a time. We know that the church and the LGBT plus community have a long and difficult history. Even today, there are many churches who exclude those who identify as LGBT plus from full participation and fellowship and belonging in faith communities. Over the last year, we spent time walking with Jesus, looking at the ways he reached out to those who were marginalized and oppressed by the religious elite, by the culture, and even the empire. Jesus was loving to those who were considered outsiders. Today, the LGBT plus community is often considered outsiders to the church. For us to talk about inclusion, we mean that for everyone. But one of the specific ways we do that is by celebrating Pride Month. It is often said in our denomination, no matter who you are or where you are on life's journey, you are welcome here. We rephrase that for us to say, this is your sacred place. We know that saying you are welcome is not enough, because there are plenty of churches who say that, but they don't mean it. There are limitations placed on God's love, or those who identify as LGBT are asked to change themselves to fit within their view of who God is. At Sacred Place, we celebrate those who are told they don't belong. We know that God's love always wins, and it always breaks out of the boundaries we as humans place upon it. You are welcome here for exactly who you are, for who you love, not in spite of, but because of that. We celebrate who God created to be, you to be, exactly who you are. That's why we do Pride Month. Because that message must ring louder than all the messages of hate, especially those who call themselves Christians and share words that do the opposite of what we hope and long for our world. Especially for those who are part of God's family, who identify as LGBT+. I have a song to share with you now as we celebrate Pride all month long.
For everyone born, a place at the table. For everyone born, clean water and bread. a shelter, a space, a safe place for growing, for everyone born, a star overhead. For every gender, a place at the table, revising the roles and deciding their share. Wisdom and grace, dividing the power. For every gender, a system that's fair. And God will delight when we are creators of justice and joy, justice and joy. Yes, God will delight when we are creators of justice and joy, of compassion and peace. From our first to our last days, a place at the table, a voice to be heard and a part in the song. The hands of a child in hands that are wrinkled, first to our last days, the right to belong. For imperfect justice, a place at the table, the lost and the learning, the hard to forgive, in anger and hurt, a mindset of mercy. For imperfect justice, a new way to live. And God will delight when we are creators of justice and joy, justice and joy. Yes, God will delight when we are creators of justice and joy, of compassion and peace. For all orientations, a place at the table, each love celebrated, an open embrace, a rainbow of lovers, all made in God's image. For all orientations, the chalice of grace. And God will delight when we are creators of justice and joy, justice and joy. Yes, God will delight when we are creators of justice and joy, of compassion and peace. Yes, God will delight when we are creators of justice and joy, justice and joy. God will delight when we are creators of justice and joy, of compassion and peace. For everyone born, a place at the table, to live without fear and simply to be, to work, to speak out, to witness and worship. For everyone born, the right to be free.
This year, our Pride series is called Love Will Always Win. We believe that truly, that the love of God will always overcome the resistance of others. It may take time, generations, eons, we never know. But we believe that with all that we are as Sacred Place, that justice, inclusion, and family will prevail. I hope you will join us on Sundays at 10:30 a.m. on Zoom, or here each Thursday or thereafter at 5:30 p.m. for Sacred Place Live. We will be gathering for the first time in a very long time in person on Sunday, June 20th, for a church picnic, a time for us to celebrate and just be together. We need you to bring your own food. We're not providing any of that because of complicated reasons of safety and comfort for everyone. So bring what you'd like to eat. We'll gather at 11 a.m. at Heritage Park in Rancho Cucamonga. We have both pavilions reserved so we can spread out how we feel safe. but still be together, enjoying time and company. I'll offer a short reflection, but really this is just about catching up on all that has been going on in our lives over the past 14 months. I hope you will join us. I hope you have a good rest of your week and coming up weekend. And I hope that you remember that always this is your sacred place.